Hey, welcome back to this segment of the go-kart build. Today I'm making the hub for the brake disc. If I can find where I set it. Oh, it's right next to it. So this is the brake disc for the go-kart, and I don't have a hub for it. I have a hunk of aluminum left over from the steering box. I thought I'd just use it to make a hub to hold this onto the shaft. And what's going to be interesting with this video is I got to put a keyway in this hub, but instead of just using the arbor press and a keyway cutter, I'm going to use the hydraulic key setter I have. So let's get this thing built. This will work really well. Use up this aluminum chunk left over. So I'm over here at the key seater, call it a key seater, and this is a hydraulic unit that has a cutter in here that cuts a keyway out of the hub. So let me get this set up. I'll bring you a little closer and I'll show you the setup and how it works. Okay, so I got the key seater put together. You can see this is why I don't use it that much, because it takes so long to put it together. Now it may be different if we used it more, I'd have some more things. The problem I have with it is there's so many options. You see, I kept going back and forth. I grabbed this part, that part, and then switched back, and there's a lot of ways to do it. And each component has its own options. Let me grab a part. Stay right there. You can also see how long it took because I changed my clothes. It's a new day. I think altogether it probably took about at least 30 minutes, if not an hour. I think it took almost an hour, but if it was all cleaned down, I probably could went a little faster. So what this is the wrong piece. So this is, I don't even know what these parts are called. This sits in the machine, and then your part sits on this tapered piece. And there's different pieces. There's tapered ones, there's stepped ones, like this one. And they all have their own, these are the options. And it all depends on what you're doing. So, and they're just, if you were doing a lot of these, what's really hard with this is if it's a one of, it's such a pain to set up. I just rarely use it. It's so much easier to just use the arbor press and keyway cutter. So, but if you're doing something big, I've done some really big hubs, and it is nice. And I got 2-inch wide cutter, all sorts of cutters. I don't know what this will do. Yeah, it'll do a 2-inch wide keyway. And it'll even do really tall stuff. If you're doing a bunch, this would be nice because it takes so long to set up. But the one of, I just don't use it that much. So, but this is how it works. You put your part in here, and it's clamped down. This is actually the other one. You put your thing in there, you put this, whichever one on top, and this goes down over the top. Oops, wrong one. And it clamps onto here and then pushes everything tight. And that's how I have it right here. Everything's tight, clamped, can't move. Let me go a little bit tighter. And it's centered on there. Everything's nice and straight. So this is ready to cut. All right, so what happens with this is you have a cutter that looks like this. And it's just a high-speed steel. This one is really wore out. And it sits in the machine at the top. And what happens is the machine moves up and down. Okay? Actually, let me show that. See if I can. So it moves up and down like that. And I can set the stroke and different things. So the cutter's sitting there moving up and down. And then behind the cutter is a wedge. And it's held lower down. And it's actually a power feed unit. So I can set this and it'll feed on it every stroke. I don't know how much it feeds, but as it feeds, this just pulls down and it pushes the cutter out and makes a deeper cut and deeper cut. So that's simple how it works, and it does a really good job. It makes a really nice keyway. I've even done some cuts and some pretty hard stuff. The bigger keyways use, it's an insert. So it goes into a different type of holder and it has an insert, which these are kind of nice because they're easier to hone and resharpen. The smaller ones take a lot of effort. I had to resharpen this one yesterday, and that took a good 10 minutes just to sharpen that because it's awkward, it's long. You can't get in the grinder very well. So I even had to put this in the surface grinder and clean up the sides. It had a burr or something on it. So okay, so that's that. Let me set the stroke, and then we'll be ready to do a cut. Yeah, let me do that. So setting the stroke is just like any other machine. It's just for efficiency. And then this is actually a roller that goes in and pushes the cutter into that wedge and make sure that's working. So let's do some cuts. Let me grab some cutting fluid. Control, and when I pulled out the lever, so nothing happens when I pull this back. Feed here. So there's the keyway. Yeah, you can see how much time that actually takes. I do prefer the arbor press when it's just a one of, but it is nice for big stuff. Very large, inch wide keyways, 3/4 keyways. It's nice because I have a hydraulic press, but I'm always sketchy on large, hard steel stuff. It's easy to break the teeth on those arbor press type. But it's essentially just a vertical shaper is really what it is. So that's how we cut a keyway in with the key seater. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. Got to use a few different tools, show you some different methods for making this brake hub. Yeah, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.